Hey, how you going? Good to be back. We're going to be continuing on from last week. So we had been to the waterfall and I jumped in and my GoPro had died. So the plan had been from there was going to travel up sort of north through the main part of Bohol, like through the when I say main part, through the centre of the main island, and then cut across towards the west again towards Chocolate Hills and go and visit Chocolate Hills. Uh, I don't have a lot of video footage there. I've got some little bits and pieces from my main camera, which isn't as smooth, but and some photos and stuff. So I'll be using those, and we'll see how we go through that. And then yeah, after that, Chocolate Hills, by the way, is just awesome. It's really beautiful. Like just definitely worth visiting. Really nice. If you're looking at Google Maps as a way to find it, just make sure you go to the right one because when I was going there, I was following where it said on Google Maps, and it takes you down like some back street, down a side street, down a really smart sort of thing, and then up into a dirt track which goes up into a mountain somewhere. And it's not right. And I saw a couple other tourists coming back the same way, and they said the same thing that they'd mistakenly gone there. So just make sure you get the right one, but it's definitely worth going to. It's very beautiful. I was there at like coming on to sunset, so that was an awesome time. Like if you can get there for like sunrise or sunset, it's pretty nice. The When I got there, it was going sunset, and like fog was starting to roll in a little bit around like the base of a lot of the little hills. So that was really nice, and yeah, the views are nice. It's not expensive, and yeah, worth having a look. I'd definitely go there again. After being there, I've been out for the whole day, and so and worrying about the GoPro failing. I hadn't even thought about my phone, and obviously, I'm using that for other things throughout the day now that I didn't have the GoPro, and it was flat, like it had gone to zero, and that was kind of how I got myself around everywhere, I guess. So I kind of knew, like I knew roughly that I needed to go east. Sorry, I needed to go west and south a bit to try and get back to Panglao Island. But other than being able to say, well, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, and it's now pitch black and set, I didn't really have much of an idea which way to go. So that was a bit of an adventure. That trip I think normally would have taken about an hour, maybe, and it took me close to 3, I think, just because I went the wrong way. And there was like these two girls they were walking down the road, and I sort of said, "Oh, hi," and they're like, "Hi." And they're a bit shy, and I'm like, "Which way to Panglao? Do I go that way or that way?" Maybe they didn't know. I don't know, but like I said that way, and they went, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay, cool." And the other girl was like, "That way, yeah." Awesome. They didn't want to tell me they didn't know, I'm guessing, but yeah. So again, it was just me guessing, and trying to find the way. Eventually, I got there, and that was all good. And yeah, it was a good day, other than the GoPro issue. Next morning, I got up and headed out to the Tarsier. Is that how you call it? The little monkeys, the Tarsier Sanctuary, and rode up there. It's not as big as I thought. Like they kind of talk it up a lot. Like there's a lot of places, like everywhere you go, it's like, oh, you've got to go and visit the Tarsier Sanctuary, and don't get me wrong, they're awesome. It's really cool to look at them, but it's pretty small. And so you get to the place, and basically they make you sit down and go through a induction, I guess. Don't speak loudly. Don't use, flash. Don't use flash photography, that sort of thing. And then they give you a guide who takes you in there because they're small, right? Like these, I didn't realize, like I think they're the world's smallest monkeys. But I was thinking, they're going to be like this, like this sort of size. Like maybe, I don't know, like 30 centimeters or something like that. And they're not. They're tiny. They're like maybe 10 or 15 centimeters. Like you could hold the smaller ones I saw. You could probably hold 2 or 3 of them in one hand. So yeah, they're pretty awesome. But really, you would. you would never find them if you went into this place without a guide. It's not big, as I said, but they get there, I think, in the morning early, and then they go and search until they find roughly where they all are, because they don't move around much during the day. So they kind of go and search and find where they are, and then you come in and you do your induction thing, and then they take you with a group of 4 or 5 or 8 of you, and they pretty much just walk you to wherever they are and go, yeah, look, and you can take some photos and whatnot, but they kind of tell you off if you get too close or whatever. I mean, fair, but apparently they get stressed or something you basically, if you're handling them, they can get stressed and die. And there's not many of them, so maybe I don't know. This is just what they were saying. But they're real cute. Definitely worth going to have a look at that as well. I was going there with the expectation that it was going to be like this big sanctuary place, and you just sort of travel around yourself and have a look at them, and they'd be everywhere. And it's not the case. It's kind of like a small little enclosure, not tiny enclosure, but small enough. And you've got a guide, and maybe 8 or 10 of you with that guide, and he'll basically walks you to them and go, here you go, take photo, take photo, take photo. He'll take the camera, he'll take some photos, and then we're probably only in there for a total of 10 minutes. And then you back out, and that's it. You're done. Off you go again. But still, it's worth looking at. And I think if you're going in a tour group, like if you've got a motorbike or something, it's easier. But if you're doing a tour group, I think they do they'll wake up in the morning, they'll pick you up, and they'll take you out to the Tarsier Sanctuary, and then from there they'll take you to someplace else, and then from there you go up to the Chocolate Hills, and then back around and down again. I think there's a riverboat cruise thing that you can do with lunch and that, which I haven't done, but I vaguely remember seeing that, and it looks awesome. So maybe I think you do Tarsier and then down to that, the cruise, have lunch, and then up onto the Chocolate Hills, all in one big sort of package, which is not overly expensive. So it's probably worthwhile doing if you don't have your own transport. So yeah, as I was leaving there, I was coming back out through, I think it was from there, I was leaving there. Anyway, I think I was leaving from there, and I was coming back out, and I sort of just stopped to get, I think it was a church actually that I saw. I was like, oh, that looks nice. I'd go and have a quick look at that in this little town. Like, it's a tiny little town. It had this big old church in it. So I stopped to have a quick look at that, and I might have some photos there or some video. Maybe if I do, I'll put them on. But this sounds stupid, but they had a little playground out the front, and I couldn't help but having a look at them, because I'm sure I've got photos. I'll put them on if I can find them. But the playground is like, it's got like seesaws and I don't know, like maybe some swings or something like that. But it's got, the thing that caught my eye was it's got a couple of slides. And so, you climb up to the top and you walk a thing and you slide down the slide. But the slide's made of cement, right? Like the whole thing's made of cement, but the slide itself is made of cement, and it's not smooth. It's like rough cement. So like, I didn't see anyone playing on it. I don't imagine anyone would ever play on it, because it's kind of like a slide you're supposed to sit on it and slide down, right? This one, I imagine if you sat on it and slid down it, it'd be like sandpaper tearing your butt to pieces. Like it's not smooth cement. It's like pitted. It's like pitted and potholey sort of little. It's like sandpaper. Like you'd be sliding down this thing and it'd tear your legs and butt to pieces. So I'm sure I got photos, I'll put them on there. Anyway, I don't know why that impressed me or interested me, but I thought that was weird and interesting. So there you go. I'll put that on there as well. I'm going back in about a month. So I'm going to go back over there in a month, and eventually there'll be new videos from that. But I'm going to go back and do Cebu again, and some of the places I've already been to, I'm going to go back to and try and, because I wasn't planning on filming when I went those first times. So I'm going to go back and try those again and film some more of those. All right. That's it. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good week. I will see you next time, and stay cool. Have a good day. Bye.